What's going on? 50 virus block in the house. I'm just kidding. No, there's no 50 virus blocks yet. Come on. What are we talking about? I'm just kidding. I just saw, where is it? Where is it? It's under a different name under here. Now I can't find it. You know what I'm talking about. There are no 50 virus blocks yet. Anyway, that'd be sweet when it happens. Oh no, what's going on? I think my chat is all messed up. I can't even see who was commenting first. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, let's do a quick roll call from where I can actually see it. So I see Sadie sometimes at the start of my chat here. Budweiser. Lil's Indicator. We got Lil Time Mining in the house. Fright Club, Chirish, Skirm, what's going on? Zapirate. Scrolling through. How come I don't see Mr. Rud Putz anywhere? That's weird. I know he's in here somewhere, but I don't see him. Usually he's first. But Sling Buzz, what do we got going on? Duke Nukem in the house. Ogre MGTOW. Did I say that? I'm just used to saying it maybe. Son of a Rabid Panda, what's going on? Sling Buzz again. Scrolling through. George, what's happening? What is that? DKGRRO. What is that? Dick Guro. You know, it's like the Mortal Kombat guy. Guro. I'm just going to go with that. Does that work? Frederico, Marcelo, what's going on? Douglas Hand. Just looking around. There he is. When's 50 virus blocks? I don't know. You know, hopefully sometime soon. But at the same time, Retro Mike brought out a good point. I did a Twitter post on that. I'm like, when 50 virus blocks? And, you know, it doesn't make sense to just have some random stupid token or coin, whatever, drop on Virus and pay all the money if it turns out to be nothing. So obviously, you know, it's nice that we could just, you know, nice, decent, solid coins to drop on the Virus network. That way, on top of the big block rewards, we also get some decent coins on there to help us merge mine if it's a proof of work coin. So, you know, a lot of that makes a lot of sense as well. George, again, first time 13. Nick, oh, just jumped on me. Sorry to everyone that I skipped. Hugo Down, member for 17 months. Awesome. Zapirate, member for 7 months. He just, you know, copied Hugo Down and removed the 1 in front. I'm just joking around, guys. Thank you very much for being members, everyone. Have a great day. Thanks to Zapirate there. Ace K, what's happening? What is that? Nemophorius 1.0? Nephorius? Oh, there he is. I see him. Oh, where's the button? Rud Putz. Oh, he was late. Whoa, Rud Putz was late. That's crazy. Oh, Fudweiser is a member for 23 months. Beat that, boys. Fudweiser has been here as a member for quite some time there. So that's awesome. Much appreciated to all you members out there. And speaking of 23 months, Rig23 was down on me yesterday. If you guys follow my Twitter account, if you don't, that link should be in the description. Start following today. But I was tweeting about Rig23 yesterday, and it was a pain. I was working on trying to fix that rig for like 7 or 8 hours. Yeah, 7 or 8 hours. And I could not figure out what was the weirdest thing. So I don't know. We're going to make a video on it one day. It's just going to be, it would be a quick one. But let's kind of run through that. So I woke up in the morning, the power went out. I knew a storm was coming overnight, but then it looked like it was going to miss, so I don't know what happened. Regardless, I woke up in the morning yesterday, and a couple of rigs were offline. You know, power glitched out there, and some things happened. You know, your timers reset on the microwave, things like that. So the power went out. A couple of rigs are down. Everything, most of them were up and running. I just rebooted, whatever, all good. One rig, Rig23 was down, and it wouldn't boot. I'm like, what is going on with this rig? I'm like, okay, well, this happened to me a couple weeks back when I had a power failure and a different CPU rig went down. It turned out to be the SSD drive. The SSD just failed instantly. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't format it, whatever. It's a good thing I had a backup SSD, so I got that up and running. So I'm like, okay, well, it's probably another hard drive went down. I had no issues with any of the M2s, but this one was on an SSD as well, one of those Kingston 120 gigs. So I'm like, all right, that's probably the issue. So I just pulled it out, put in an M2, well, flashed up, hive onto a new M2 drive, threw that in there right quick, booted up. I'm like, all right, all good. It wouldn't go up. I'm like, it's broken. Okay, I'm like, great. Now what? All right, so I pulled it out of my 240 volt, brought it into my little bench thing here where I have my workstation and everything by my test bench, and I plugged that into a different power supply, 120 volt. And I go to turn it on, and it just flashes. Nothing. I got a quick light, and then it wouldn't boot. I'm like, what is going on here? So I'm like, okay, that's weird. I just pulled that power supply off the test bench. It works. Why won't it work? Well, all right, I'll try a different power supply. So I go back, grab a different power supply, bring it in here, plug it all in, get everything going, turn it on. It just flashes again on 120 volt. I'm like, what is happening? This is so weird. It turns on 240, but not 120. So I took it and I put it back on 120 or 240. I'm like, okay, well, let me just see if this is working. Did I short something out accidentally? So I plug it all back in, turn it on, everything fires up. Okay. What's going on here? So I take it off again and I put it back to 120 volt. I try the power supply back on my test bench. Maybe I messed that up. Test bench fires right up. All right, so I take the power supply back off my test bench, back to 120 volt, back onto where I can work on this rig, get the GPU in it, and it just flashes. It is not working on 120 volt. What is happening? I'm shaking my head at this point. I go to Google and I start looking things up. I can't find anything anywhere other than some people going from 120 volt and moving to Europe and going to 220, 240, and things aren't working. They're saying, oh, your power supply's dead, or the switcher inside's dead. It's dead. Power supplies are dead. All that comes up is pretty much everyone's saying your power supply's dead. I know my power supplies are not dead. So I'm like, okay, next step. Maybe something's wrong with the BIOS. I am going to pull there's no reset button on that motherboard particularly, so I pulled the CMOS battery out and I let it sit there for about a minute or so, put the battery back in and try and fire it up. That way I would just have to put on my power switch because it removes that restore power after AC. So I do that, I turn on the power supply again, it just flashes. What the heck is going on? So then I go back. I put it back at 240 volt, and the CMOS battery pulling off didn't do anything. It fired right back up again on 240. So I'm like, all right, so I'm beating my head against the wall. I've taken monitors off things. I've tried multiple power supplies, 120 volt, 240 volt. It works on 240, not on 120. I have no idea what's going on at this point. So I go to Discord. I'm like, all right, I'm having an issue. What's happening? And then Tactical, I can't remember the name. I'll make sure it's right. But Tactical, he knows what's going on. But so he's like, sounds like I had this similar issue. And another thing he said, it could be the 24-pin splitters. He had this happen to him before, and he tried putting a power switch on, clicking it like 10, 20 times, whatever, spamming it, and it turned on. I'm like, okay, well, that's an easy fix. I'll try that. I had no thermal paste. I was getting ready. I ordered thermal paste. I was getting ready to swap motherboards and all this stuff because I'm like, all right, well, this is a 5950X CPU. I'm going to swap it out, a 3900X to a different motherboard. We'll get it up running. That way, I'll lose a 3900X, but get the 5950X back on track. So I was all right, I'll gain a little hash, lose the minimum amount in this case. So that's what I was getting ready to do, ordered thermal paste and all this stuff, and I had to wait for that. And then I asked about all that, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to try that. So I tested all the ends, though. The 24-pin works directly from the motherboard, works, or the power supply. Everything works within every connection because sometimes they kind of come a little bit loose on those 24 pins. Regardless, I hooked everything back up on 240, put in the power switch. I clicked it 10, 15 times, and then it booted. So I spent 7 or 8 hours trying everything I could possibly think of, and it came down to spam hitting the power switch with a switch plugged into it, and then it booted up, and then I went through all my settings again and did whatever I had to do. So that was crazy. So I maybe I'll do that video. It'll probably help out a lot of people. If you ever run into this issue, just spam the freaking power button to turn it back on. But it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Then you just put the power button to reset. Yeah, usually you can do that, but usually if you just pull out the battery, it should wipe everything out when it loses its, what's it called? When it loses, it doesn't have anything saved anymore. Usually just pulling it for 20 seconds would wipe it out. But yeah, you can also do the clear CMOS button if your motherboard has it. A lot of motherboards don't have a lot of the buttons. Some of them do, depending on what you get. But yeah, anyway, it came down to I just hit that power button. I clicked it about 10, 20 times, and then it finally loaded up. So it was a crazy day yesterday. I didn't get really much going on. I spent all day trying to fix that rig, and all it came down to was pretty much a 5-second fix of spamming the power button with a switch. So awesome. Anyway, yeah. Oh, BIOS, not CMOS. Yeah. Oh, another thing I was coming up to, it does have an offline BIOS flash. You can do that. It has a button to update your BIOS when it's not plugged in and no power and stuff. So that was my next step. If hitting the power button, which I just found out, if that didn't work, my next step was to maybe just upgrade the BIOS and see if that fixes it, because maybe something just happened in there somewhere and messed it up. But anyway, that's what it ended up being. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. So why didn't the auto power on not work? I don't know. I have no idea what was going on. Like, it would flash. And then when I go to 240 volt and I flip the power supply on, all the lights and everything came on and fans and everything were spinning, but it was stuck in that. Oh, I also tried different RAM sticks and single RAM sticks and different RAM slots. Like, I went through everything thinking something was happening. It's so weird that it came down to just putting on a power switch there with a cable and hitting the power button a bunch of times, then it worked. So if you guys run into any type of issue like that, try putting on a power switch first thing and then go from there and see what happens. But yeah, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. Because like if the hard drive wasn't working, it'd at least pop up and say it can't boot or something. But it wasn't even getting to that point. It wasn't even getting to the point where it would, you know, begin loading the BIOS. It just wouldn't do anything, nothing coming to the GPU. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, interesting. You just need an old priest and a young priest. Yeah, they get funky on power failure. Sounds like BIOS may got corrupt. Great, you got it rolling. Yeah, it was definitely something very weird. What's your take on Ice River? They took a dump on KS0 buyers, mining the crap out of KS0s, and then has been paid for and BSing their customers with lame excuses. That's just despicable. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm getting a lot of different new resources lately. It's interesting. I'm trying to figure out which ones are, you know, the most reliable and which ones aren't. I just got in contact a few days back with a new supplier and everything that seems to get prices way cheaper than like any of the third parties you see on ASIC Miner Value. So I'm still working with that to see how it all works out, and you can possibly even get my own labels and stuff printed through them, which is kind of sweet. But regardless of all that, some of the information coming in is that Ice River oversold all their batches. Well, since the early August, because as it started getting popular and everyone was, you know, obviously FOMOing into these Kaspa ASIC miners, they oversold their batches by a decent amount. So now we're supposed to get, like, say, like, there's still people waiting from the August 1st to 10th batches, and we're coming into the middle, closer to the end of the month here, and the beginning of the month batches haven't gone out yet because they oversold all their batches there, and then they started shipping them out to all those ASIC resellers and the ASIC warehouse people, and now they're slowly starting, because they just took all the money they could right off the get-go. Now they're trying to manufacture and catch up all those batches. So that's kind of, I think, why a lot of these delays are happening right now, is because now they don't even have them made for a bunch of the miners that they sold. So that's why they were seeing these delays and waiting and stuff. So they're trying to manufacture these to send them out. That also sounds like after August 25th, which is weird because they're making so much off these ASICs right now, is they're not going to make them anymore. So that means the KS0, KS1, KS2, and KS3Ls and KS3s, all Ice River products, are not even going to be made anymore after the end of this month, which means after all these batches are sold out, you can never order one again. So if Kaspa price explodes, the resale value could be huge, but the hash rate is going to be obviously massive after Bitmain releases. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not. But it sounds like they're not even going to produce these miners anymore. So once they get all these orders out and everything filled into whatever batch numbers they expect, plus more to manufacturing oversold back orders, you're not going to be able to buy them anymore. So there won't be. And all that's going to be left is Bitmain. Bitmain's KS3s is the only miner you're going to be able to purchase after this month, September, next month. So I don't know, is Ice River a side company of Bitmain and there's just a strategy from the start? Or is there other things going on? Or are they just... or are we just catching word that, you know, that's what they're saying to catch up on all the orders after this month? Then maybe in a couple months they will start making them again. Or maybe they're working on an updated miner. I have no idea. Or maybe they're working on a frickin' Radiant RX0 for now, all we know. We have no idea. But it does sound like they are going to be working on newer model ASICs for different coins. There is a hint about a Bitcoin miner. I don't know how true it's going to be. They didn't confirm or deny that allegation. Fully Electric did ask him about it. He posted that on Twitter, and they did pretty much confirm they are working for looking at other coins for their ASICs, but we just don't know which ones they really are yet. So I don't know. Crazy stuff. But yeah, it sounds like it's oversold batches and just a huge lineup of people trying to get them. And where's this other one? Let me find this. I just want to find this right here. Actually, I'll just take a screenshot. I think I have a screenshot somewhere of when I posted. Let's see here. Desktop. Let me find it. So look at this. We're gonna work it out, see how many it is, but boost. I can't find where it is now. View, large icons. This right here. So look at this. You guys see that? So this is what one of the suppliers said is today one customer bought all of the spots KS3Ls in the market. They spent, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's $1.6 million. Now it's finished. So then there's only the last batch left from Ice River, the 15th to August 25th. And remember, they're still trying to fill orders from August 1st to 10th. So it might be middle of September, end of September before you see this batch. Hard to say. And then it's finished. After that, there's going to be no more KS3Ls because allegedly Ice River is going to halt production across all Kaspa ASICs by the 25th. That's the last batch. Again, all rumor, no idea if it's happening. It's going to be interesting. Now, they have recently been adding different parts of those ASICs on their website. And a lot of people, like if you have a KS1 and a KS2 and stuff, as you know, some only have the KS1, I think is 2 hash boards, where the KS2 is 4. You may be able to turn a KS1 into a KS2 by ordering 2 more hash boards, slapping that into a KS1. They all use the KS1, 2, 3, and 3L, all use the same control board. So you can maybe able to build your own Kaspa ASICs for cheaper, depending on the price of it. I think the control board is only like 30 or 40 bucks, which is actually pretty cheap for a control board. Because I remember when I had to get my L3 Plus one, although I don't think they really make them anymore, so it was a lot harder to get. But it was like 150 bucks for an L3 Plus control board, and you know this thing's coming in at like $40 on a major FOMO product. So it's going to be interesting for sure how this is all going to kind of play out moving into the future. We definitely have to keep our eyes open, but we do know one thing for sure. Pretty soon, Bitmain will be releasing their KS3. And when that happens, they don't... Hold on, I got to find my button. They don't give a about any markets. They will dump as many miners as they could possibly sell as fast as they possibly can. And, you know, maybe that was one of the reasons they've been delaying, is to get more and more and more pre-orders out, because they know once they release those, people are not going to be buying these things anymore because of the fact that the hash rate is going to be so high. And if Kaspa price does not keep going up to the levels that it needs to support the hash rate, it's not going to be profitable at all. But Kaspa can handle a lot more hardware than the likes of Kadena, because it is paying around 16 times more at the current prices. So that's one thing we kind of factor in. It's going to take longer and more hardware to destroy it, but eventually it's a good chance it could end up being destroyed. we know what Bitmain does when they release things. They don't care. They drop it, and they drop it hard. Anyway, it's going to be interesting. We got the KS3 out. Next in mining, India. Was that you for real? Is that you guys that ordered all those KS3Ls? Like, you dead serious there? That's crazy. That's insane if that's actually you. Oh, are you just joking? You know, a lot of people. It's probably Panda. Panda ordered them all. I know he did. He has the power to run all that. Panda, was that you? What do we got going on? Let's do the low voice Panda thing 1 second. Hold on. He loves this one. And 3, 2, 1. Red Panda mining. Yeah, it's like the Diablo thing, majigger one. Kaspa 20.020.28. Panda going on vacay to pick up the order. Yeah, it's funny how this massive order goes out after he's been planning this vacation. What's going on? I'm just kidding. Just joking, guys. Spent 1.5 million. Red doesn't check flight sheet configs. What? Doesn't check flight sheet configs? Why? What happened? Is there something I missed there? Something went down. He was building that proof of useful work rig. How did it go, by the way? You know, that's one thing. I still haven't really dabbled into the whole proof of useful work. Like not the Dynex thing. Obviously, Dynex, whatever. You just set it up like you're normally mining a coin. But, you know, the Vast AI thing. Sounds like Octa.Space is doing the AI rental thing as well, which seems interesting. Someone was making, I can't remember, with a couple GPUs, they're getting like 50 Octa a day, which is pretty darn good if you think about it. But, you know, again, I don't know all the specs on it, how to actually set that up, how it's working. I went to the Octa website, didn't really see any type of information about that. So maybe they were lying. I don't know. But it's interesting. You want to play with proof of use work on Dynex? I have access to the system. No, I better not. I'll break the entire system. I don't know how any of that works. I'm not a coder. I'm not a tech person. I don't have the background like a lot of the big tech people do. Like, Panda, for an example. He's an IT guy. He knows security. He knows all this. I don't know any of that. I'm an Alberta oil rig worker that got into mining. It's a totally different thing. I'm like learning as I go. Obviously, I do a lot of research, stuff like that, but I don't have any type of like IT-ish background. I just do a lot of research. So, one day I'm probably going to burn everything down, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so it's totally different background here. But so I don't want to touch anything like that, back stuff like that, because I would cause the whole Dynex chain to go down. Now I'm sure Flux would love that. They're like, yes, thank you, Rabid. Because I don't think they like me too much because I always say how bad and horrible it is for profitability on Flux. But hey, on an investor side point, Flux has a major potential to see some awesome gains moving in that next bull run. Remember, 2021 was it? And it was Panda that showed me that too. Like, I didn't think it was doing that great. And then he said, early 2021 it was only like 2 cents. Then it went to over $3. So now we're hanging around 30 to 40 cents. So could it hit $4 or $5? That's going to be some nice gains on the investor and hodling standpoint. But when it comes to actually mining it right now, obviously that's what I talk about. It's about mining profitabilities and stuff, and Flux doesn't have it. So yeah, we're there. But yeah, anyway, I would break Dynex if I touched any of that. The whole network go down, you'd probably never be able to fix it. Rabid Miner, I have a secret 2 megawatt mining farm for the past 3 years. Nobody knows what. I wouldn't doubt it. Where is it actually, though? Can I secretly not know about it? Because that would be good. You already did that? Yeti broke Dynex? What? You already broke it? No. CFX, RXD. Yeah, those seem to be that CFX. That's Conflux. No, is that Conflux or is that Conceal? No, Conceal is CCX or some. CFX, that's Conflux, I think. Yeah, but RXD, Conflux, a lot of these coins, like they're getting a lot more hype lately. We actually go into proof of work coins here. This is mining pool stats. It doesn't have everything listed and it doesn't have all the emissions of them all. But if we tail this end by emissions here, in theory, by 24-hour emissions, this is based on current price and everything, not hash. These are the top coins that's paying miners the most amount of money, which means in theory, it would have the most amount of hash rate or more miners on it. So they're the most popular coins. But look, obviously we have Bitcoin in first place. Now, an interesting thing to think about is Bitcoin right now is emitting $21.8 million. $21.8 million right now in this bear market. We had that big dump and stuff happening. But that is the same emissions that Ethereum had prior to the day of and the day before of the Ethereum merge. That was the prices down. It wasn't at the high. I think at the high, Ethereum was around over $50 million per 24 hours. So obviously we can see why the big GPU mining boom exploded with that. But Ethereum was paying the same amount as Bitcoin right now. Crazy to think about. Now we're moving on onto other coins, and we got Dogecoin is the second largest coin that's paying miners the most amount of money per day, but it drops from 21.8 million all the way down to 858,000, not even $1 million. We got Kaspa is now in third place. Makes sense. We got ASICs about to hit that though. Chia hard drives, fourth place, paying miners the most amount of money per day, per 24 hours. And everyone talked crap about Chia because it sucks. But most of those people also don't realize that network difficulty just went to the moon. That is, the price dropped and network difficulty just went, exploded. But you cannot deny the fact that Chia here is looking like it's the fourth largest proof of work chain that you can mine on it's the largest hard drive one, but you kind of see where I'm going with that. It's paying more. We got Litecoin in fifth now, Bitcoin Cash. Look at Dynex coin. Here's your first place GPU coin currently at $100,000 is Dynex right now. It's crazy. We got XMR, which is a CPU coin, in eighth place. We got Nari. Here's another next GPU coin. Kapow, $46.6 thousand for 24 hours. Your AMD guys, you guys with those AMD GPUs are probably loving the Kapow right now. When those Kapow coins pump, AMD's all over that. We got Ergo. That's interesting, actually. I would not expect Ergo to be in the top 10, but it looks like they are. Decred here. We got Radiant is in 12. We got Conflux in 13. We got Dash here in 14th. We got Nervous here in 15th. Bitcoin Nova, no idea what that is. Block X, that's a new upcoming one that a lot of people are talking about with that big D You know, Panda, he has that video. You know, he got the big D. No denying Panda's big D there, huh, guys? He's got the big D9. Oh, we got the Kuro coin here, the 29K, 29.6K. We got Cadena's in the top 20. That's crazy to think about, but $26,000 is what it's paying. Horizon Octa.Space is at 24. Oh, yeah, it's seen a bit of up here, coming up again. eCash. Wow, this GainX. So GainX, this is an interesting one. It's dying now, but oh, it's coming up actually. That sucks. So here's an interesting one. Let's talk about this one. So Gain Pro X. Do I think it's going to do something? Probably not. But this was a recent Ghost Rider coin. We know what happens with that. So it forked Raptorium or some BitTorrent, no idea. And so this coin, one guy in my Discord, he has a couple dual epics and stuff. He ROI'd those epics in 4 freaking days. ROI'd dual epics. That's $5,000, like, or actually $3,500. It's like 5,000, over 5,000 Canadian, but it's like $3,500 a rig. He ROI'd him like 4 or 5 days because he got in super early. Now I only got in this about 2 or 3 days ago. I've been selling it every day, but currently it's going down obviously rapidly at this point. Like, where's my little R plant thing here? Let's go into R plant. You can see the current daily emissions or payouts or whatever. So first day I only got 7,800 coins, and then 6,800 coins. Yesterday or today 4,900 is going, but I've been selling daily. So the first day it was like, I think it was like $58, and then this day I got like $45. This morning I sold it like $34. So it's dropping down, but I'm taking those profits every day right now. So I'm mining it, dumping it every morning. When I wake up, I just go straight to the exchange and sell. So like right now I just seen it's going up in price, but you got to set that limit there. You got to be ready to sell your coins. If you don't take those profits, they're not going to be there, because I don't expect this coin to really explode in the future. The block reward was like 5,000 or 6,000 when it first released, and then the nodes came online. That causes a buy-in frenzy or a price pump, and then once the nodes went online, the block rewards for mining dropped to 1,500. So you're hardly even getting anything compared to early on, because those nodes take a big chunk of the reward. And these nodes took a huge chunk of the reward. So it's dropping down, hash rate's picking up. I'm just selling it until there's pretty much nothing left to pull out of this coin. So if you got a few CPUs online and you want to do something, you know, right now it's still looking pretty darn good, but I don't expect it to last long. If you want a couple days of decent profit, maybe smash out Game Pro X there, and it might be worth something. This is a project where I don't know if it's going to do anything. It's probably not, but it's liquid. There's liquidity there. I'm selling. I'm able to sell within 5 minutes of posting an order, unless you're asking for some type of stupid price. But you know, it is making daily profitability. What do we got here? Rabid Big D is on Nice Hack. Oh, the Big D is on Nice Hack. Nice. How's that doing? How's that going anyway? Isn't Nice Hash like where all the profit is on that thing? Or you hold it? Where is? I got this here somewhere. Yeah, let's look at this. Let's check this one out. Yeah, that should be having it all. So here we got some ASIC. Oh, it's not showing the big D is at the top here. There, we'll go back to this one. So the Big D is at top. Whoa! Wait. It's saying mining block X alone is more profitable than Nice Hash right now. But, you know, that could change very well. But it's not by much. It's probably not really worth switching. And you got to do more work by actually selling. So here you're getting Bitcoin. Good way to go about it. Future of the coin, no idea. Now let's jump into the other ones. We got the X16P, which is, that's a badass miner. You can't deny that. But it's saying Nice Hash is $15.43. Well, I don't know where they're getting their calculations, but Nice Hash on the Jazz miners, even though it works, sucks. They are working on firmware. They're trying to get it fixed and tweaked out, but it doesn't work. And I emailed Jingle Mining. I was like, hey, you know, I got to send in the video when I make it. And that was the last video I made, was it sucks on Nice Hash. And he said, oh, well, it's common knowledge. We know this sucks. Or it's normal to suck on Nice Hash or something. I'm like, what? Why is it normal? Like, we know. Why didn't he just say, you know, there's new firmware working on it? But they said, yeah, it's normal for it to suck a Nice Hash. Well, Jazz Miner, isn't that bad marketing for Jazz Miner coming out of that manufacturer? Because Jazz Miner did say they are working on firmware. They know this is an issue. This is one of the reasons why it was delayed for a while, minus Mining's Disrupt, because everyone wanted to premiere their stuff there. But they are working on new firmware to fix this. But someone saying, "Oh, we know that," and not saying, "Hey, we know this, and there's an update coming to fix this," and says, "Yeah, this is normal." It doesn't really make sense to me why they would say that. But Jazz Miner is working on an update to try to address this issue. And then once it's fixed, it looks like you're going to have some decent profitability there happening on NiceHash. Octa is having a nice little pump here. It looks like about $9.61 recently. And then the XQ here is sitting at, again, $5.23 on NiceHash, which is wrong because it sucks. But who knows? Again, I only tried it for like 4 hours, but it was only getting like 500 mega hash. The V1 stratum that they have in there doesn't hash very well. Only the get work does. So I don't know if their new firmware is going to have like the V2 stratum or something. I don't know what's happening, but interesting stuff. Another thing I want to point out here is I swapped everything over to K1 Pool just to see, you know, how's it doing lately? Because I have been on Crazy Pool for the past month or so, because Crazy Pool, I got to be honest with you guys, like, I have done sponsored videos for Crazy Pool. We all know this. But he messages me all the time, and he will test this. Like, he works hard on his pools. I cannot deny him the fact that he works his arse off trying to tweak his pools to every type of mining hardware he can possibly do. So I have been supporting him with my rigs and stuff on Crazy Pool because they've been doing so well. But so anyway, I was on there. So then I just recently swapped over. So yesterday on all my rigs here, I did get about 18.6 Octa at K1 Pool. And if I jump over to ZIL, I'm getting a decent amount of ZIL here by, let's just swap over. Now, some numbers you do, now I am getting a slight bit boost on K1 Pool due to the fact that they have a referral program. So people that use the referral, I get like 0.1% of whatever their mining fee is. So I am getting a little bit more. So the numbers would be expected to be a little bit higher as well. But here's about 219 ZIL. And then again, at Octa, we're at about 18. Now, if I go back and I look at my Octa on Crazy Pool, I was getting actually a decent amount more Octa, and they don't have a referral system on. Look, so 21, 22, 22, it's pretty consistent. 24, 23, 22, 21, 23. Like we can see, I'm over the 20s here for at least a week, and up, down, whatever. This one was only 14, but I don't think I had as many rigs on it at the time because that's when I was testing the X16 and stuff like that. So I am getting more Octa on Crazy Pool. It's definitely looking that way. Plus, with the little K1 boost, I'm still less over there. But I'm going to let it go for a couple more days, see how that goes. But when it does come to ZIL, I am a little bit lower on Crazy Pool, but I also have the referrals coming in, so it's kind of hard to really judge it. But, you know, 168, 154, 131, you know, 197, almost 200. It's pretty close, but not that. I'm going to have to work out the referral part. But when it does come to Octa.Space, I did notice that Crazy was doing pretty darn good in that aspect. So once I get a couple days here, I think I'm just going to move everything back over to Crazy Pool because, like I said, he does work on his pool like crazy, trying to get everything always tweaked out. So, and he's always asking questions. Was there new firmware? Was there new this? Was there that? Was there that? And, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I really like that pool. So, you know, I'm not saying you guys have to switch, but I do feel like I like to support him because just I know how much work he is doing in the background there. I'm on Crazy Pool for OctaZil is doing okay. Oh, Bacon, Eggs, and Hash is on over there. One of my Apollos doesn't switch to ZIL very well, even with the new firmware. I haven't tried the new firmware yet. I have heard that it actually dropped the power consumption a little bit on the Apollos, but every time I go to their website, they've been offline. You can download the, I don't know if it's the latest from their website, but if you go to their support, then they usually have a new version available that's like a month before they even actually release on their website. And then as soon as I get it, then I do usually update my website for it. But yeah, I don't have the latest on it, any of mine yet. So I do want to try that and see if I actually get any type of drops at the wall there or not. NVIDIA nerfed FP64 in consumer and workstation cards after Kepler, I think. They kept it wide open on Tesla K80. Mad old Tesla cards, about $40 used now, is better at FP64 than all modern non-NV tests. there you go. Some information from BoxFan about cards getting nerfed. So that sucks. Now I'm interested. Who's pumped? Like, what are your guys' expectations of next year's GPU releases? Now, NVIDIA, well, we know they're limiting a bunch of their GPUs and stuff now, 3000s, Founders Editions. You know, they're playing the NVIDIA game of halting production to drive up sales and prices. I don't know if it's working because they pretty much called the 4000. As soon as the 4090 released, they said, we're done with this series. We're moving on to the 5000 series. So they've been hyping up the 5000 series since day one. So they have huge expectations to hit next year with their 5000 series, which in my mind, in theory, should be the next best thing just prior to that bull run, because we are expecting that bull run to kind of start towards the end of next year. The halving's May, anywhere early first quarter, something next year on Bitcoin. Usually about 5-6 months after the halving is when we slowly start moving in, where crypto prices start moving north and remaining there and slowly moving up. So I begin, around October next year, September, October-ish area is when I believe the bull run will slowly start, and that's when we will start seeing the 5000 series release. So the 5090s and stuff, now I know the big thing is the 4000 series, they get a big core boost there, but nothing in the memory bandwidth. It does sound like the 5000 series is supposed to be getting a boost in their memory bandwidth on top of their cores. So instead of just being core-based awesomeness, we should be memory-based optimist as well. So that means, maybe Nexa, Radiant, depending what's going on with the FPGAs and stuff there, and so on. We should see some nice performance coming out of the 5000 series. So that's kind of where I'm leaning for. Even though the 4090 is probably still one of the best the best GPU for mining in terms of profitability, and it comes in at a cheaper MSRP than the 3090, a lot of people aren't getting it because the profitability is currently not there. But are you holding out for the 5000 series? That's kind of what I'm doing to see how that goes. I feel the 5000 series is probably going to be the next best thing. The 3000 series is slowly starting to turn into maybe like the RX 580s type of thing, where they're getting older and we're going to start being outperformed. And as hash rate increases, efficiency does become more and more of a deal, especially when you start moving into the bear market. Following the following bull market, you need those efficiencies to help you get through. So that's kind of where my headset's on for the GPUs, is moving on, seeing how those 5000 series do, and if they do look like they are a nice chunk more efficient than everything in the previous gens, which in theory they should be. I think that's where I'm going to go. Like, that's what I did earlier. I had all those like RX 580s. I sold all those off, obviously, when GPU prices skyrocketed, waited in line, and I kind of just swapped efficiency. I kept the same hash rate, but I increased my efficiency by quite a bit by selling all the 580s and converting that all to like 3060 Ti's and 3070s and so on. And that's kind of my plan, depending how the markets go. Like, if too many miners actually turn back on, then it might be rough on the profitability. We still don't know how many sell-offs have happened and what prices will hit and so on. But if things are looking decent on resale and have to stand in line or something, depending if there's a shortage, because we are expecting AI is getting huge as well, so there might become a high demand on the AI side of things, which would be limiting GPU sales. So who knows, we could end up into another shortage possibly, and then it'll be harder. So selling some of my older stuff, getting newer, updated, efficient equipment is probably the way I'm going to go, but we don't know until we actually see specs and stuff. So what do you guys think? Are you guys holding off for 5000 series, or are you guys just getting everything you can right now? That's the best way to go about it. Get everything as cheap as you possibly can, which would be like right now. I feel from now till about this time next year is when we're going to be in the cheapest prices. Because after that, like I said, sometime in about a year and a month or two, we're going to start seeing the bull run, and that's when things are going to start increasing. So we have about a year left of hardware accumulation before prices on hardware slowly start creeping up higher. So it's going to be interesting how this whole thing is going to slowly play out. Panda just buys everything. What does he got there? If my ETC are Kaspa moons and I am a millionaire, I'll buy you the new AMD Epic. That would be awesome. Someone screenshot that right now, because Panda's gonna be a millionaire and he said he'd buy me the new Epic. So that would be sweet. But yeah, that would be sweet actually. I want a new Epic. The new Epic would be awesome for sure. Maybe they'll have a 128 core epic out by then, or a 220 core, 440 thread epic by then. Running at freaking base clocks of 6 gigahertz. That would be sweet. Already has the almost new epic. Yeah, I wish. I absolutely wish. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting bull run for sure when all these prices start exploding and all the hype is back and everyone's just crypto to the moon. Who you guys ready? Like, think about it. Seriously. It's been a rough bear market. We do the majority of our mining in a bear market, and sometimes it's really rough to keep things online. Like myself, I do use my crypto to cover power, to cover my mortgage, to cover all sorts of expenses. So I don't really have much hodling, but I do have some, but not as much as, everyone paying out of pocket. So, there's a lot of people that's going to be a lot better off in the next bull run. But, it's coming. We're like a little over a year away. We've been mining like this for like over 2 years now, and we're about little over a year away. So we're over the halfway point. We're slowly coming into that bull market, and I know a lot of you guys have been waiting and waiting and waiting. But the interesting thing is, I don't know how to really go about this. So everyone that's seen the last bull market, or 2 bull markets ago, kind of knew about how things would play out. The bull market hit again, they probably took a lot of profits. Now, every bull cycle brings in a lot new people investing, brings in a lot new people begin mining, and so on. So there's going to be a new generation of miners, of investors, and everything coming in the next bull cycle. And usually it grows each time as crypto gets more and more popular and more adoption and stuff is necessary. But as people that see the previous ones, they learn, we're taking profits. So now we're going to see a bunch of people taking profits. And then we're going to see a bunch of new people saying, oh, this is awesome. We're going to the moon. We're going higher. $10 billion Bitcoin by whatever. We're going to see some crazy, stupid predictions out there. I feel peak Bitcoin price, again, I have no idea. I'm guessing based on kind of how it's been going up. We're probably going to see anywhere from 100 to 150K. I feel that's an optimal, realistic price of the next all-time high. Again, it could go more. It might not tip that. Like, we don't know. But then we got some altcoins here. Like, Bitcoin is the steady, safest crypto to hold in your portfolio. Everyone talks about it. Bitcoin. I guess, it depends how regulations, everything go. But I feel it's only going to get like, a 3 to 5x gain from like now, which is estimated. That's an awesome gain. That's better than a stock market would really get you, unless you get lucky on like a GameStop thing or something, right? But, that's pretty good gain still. But then you got your altcoins. You got your Kaspa that's never seen a bull run. We don't know what it's going to do. We got all sorts of other coins. We got Flux has some pretty lows right now, but it's seen at least $3, and they are doing things that a lot of people aren't doing, and they're trying to, maintain and compete against AWS, which is crazy. They're doing some things that no one else is doing, and that's what you kind of look at for a project. So they could see $5, $6, $7 or something. I have no idea. That's a huge gain. So there's a lot of other coins out there that could earn you a lot more than just holding Bitcoin. Bitcoin is safe. Everything else is more of a gamble. And I'm leaning more on the gamble side. Originally, I was like, okay, I want to get up to like 1-2 Bitcoin, buy the bull run and set it. But then I was like, you know what? That's only a 4 or 5x gain. Let's go big here. I need to stack up some more stuff. I don't even know what I want right now, but hopefully something else will explode. We could get 100x gains. What if Octa.Space? It's been seeing wicked gains. Kaspa's never seen a bull run. We're sitting at 3, 4, 5 cents right now. What if it hits 20, 30 cents? What if it hits 50 cents? What if it hits $1? These are massive gains. Raptorium has some their updates when they get assets rolling and they start running smart contracts and everything across the back end node side, and their chain locking abilities where it can never be 51% attacked, and speeding up transactions and everything. Like, these things, Kaspa, if Raptorium hits 1 cent again, that's like Kaspa hitting $3 in theory in terms of gain. So there's a lot of different coins out there that we have potential to gain a lot more. And that's kind of where I'm at. It could be the worst thing to do, or it could be the best thing that we don't know until the bull run hits. But I'm kind of pulling away from the Bitcoin idea and just trying to go with something that could hopefully go 100x, 1000x, and that way we can regain a lot more and be set for the next bear market, which becomes when we start accumulating hardware and all that stuff again. So it's crazy cycles. How do you guys feel all this is going to play out? What are you guys doing? Are you putting 50% in Bitcoin, 20% in everything else? Or are you doing this? Are you hodling? Are you paying out of pocket? Like, what are your guys' plans? Let's kind of look at the chat here, see what you guys are doing right now. LTC, yeah, that's another one that's going in there. Dogecoin. No, but could Dogecoin hit $1 this run? I guess it depends if Elon Musk decides to do that. Now, I was actually working on some numbers, and I was doing something like an L7 right now. If you bought it right now, like, sure, it doesn't look good. The halving went through, and then the halving caused a double whammy. Usually when a coin halves, we see a price drop and stuff. It's normal. It starts pumping before the halving events, and then it drops after. You know, buy the hype, whatever, sell the news type of thing. And that's kind of what we saw with that. So when you look at the profitability charts from L7, you're like, oh my gosh, the halving destroyed it. It didn't. It didn't really do anything in theory. What happened is Litecoin and the script miners, they got nailed with a double whammy. So if you were looking the day or two prior to the halving, you're making around $16, $12 a day after power. And then after the halving hits, you're down to like $4 or $5 a day. Like, wow, the halving killed us. But it didn't. It hardly dropped your profitability. The yields are still pretty close to what they were. The price dropped across Doge and Litecoin, making it look like you lost so much more. So the halving event didn't really affect script as, you know, some people thought it did, but Litecoin is a very small portion of the script mining profits, and you didn't really need that. But because that price did drop, it looks like it got hammered a lot harder than it really did. But yeah, Litecoin's a thing. ZIL will be the big. Oh yeah. ZIL could be very interesting for sure. Like, let's take a look at that right now. Let's look at CoinMarketCap here. ZIL price. Let's go to ZIL price. CoinMarketCap should pop up first in theory. Yes. So here we go. We're looking at this. Let's go to all. Let's see, like right here. When was this? So 2021. So there's the peak, 2021. It looks like it had another peak shortly after in 2022. But let's go to the all-time high. All-time high was about 23 cents. 23 cents. We just finished looking at, you know, my Apollos and Jazz miners. Well, only the X16 can. But I was around 200. Well, 165 to 200, whatever. Let's just average it out. Let's go 170 ZIL a day. So let's say 170 ZIL. We times that by 0.23. That is $39 a day off just ZIL if it hits 23 cents again. 23 cents. Let's just say right now. So let's say 170 ZIL. We're going to times that by 365, which is a year. Then we're going to times that by 2. Oh, I messed up. So 170 times 365. I hit the X button instead of the equals button. So now we're at that. We're going to times that by 2 for the bull run in about 2 years. That's 124,100 ZIL. Let's times that by 23 cents. That is $28,543 off just ZIL if you hodl it from right now for 2 years, doing about 160 a day with what we're getting here. You know, a lot of you guys probably have more. Panda's he's probably in the millions right now with ZIL. But see where I'm getting at? 28,000. That's going to ROI my entire fleet like 5 times. And I don't even count ZIL into any of my profits, any of my power. I just count the main coin. So all my ZIL is actually being hodled right now. So obviously, I hope it hits at least those numbers moving forward. But ZIL alone, if it can do this again, would be massive. That's a huge profit taker. And I know this time, like when the bull run hits and you see your coin pumping, I know everyone on Twitter is going to be like, it's going to go 2x more. It's going to go another 5x. If you hit a level, guys, if you don't sell, you don't get no profit and you'll be waiting through another bear market. When I see my coin pump, I'm going to dump it. I have no problems doing so. You got to set your limit. If you don't take those profits and wait for more and get greedy, you'll probably lose. And you can't time the top either. If you try to sell it at the top, it's impossible because there's no volume at the top. It's going down. Once you hit the top, it's going down from that point. So you want to try to sell it when the volume is high, when it's spiking, when it's doing its thing. That way you can get in and out ASAP and not have to worry about liquidity issues or Celsius or someone pulling everything off and closing your account. So, you know, it's interesting. So that's one thing I was kind of leaning at earlier, is seeing how we have the whole 2021 group and everyone seems to still be around. It's same names and everything. getting some new ones here and there. But everyone sounds like they're taking their profits this time. They're going to be selling this time. They're not making the same mistake as they did in 2021, thinking everything's going to keep going up. There's some stupid ass predictions out there all the time. As soon as you see a coin start going up, they think it's going to go another 100x or something after it already did a 3x. Like, it's dumb. Don't listen to any of that. Ignore it. Set a price point. Sell it. Take your profits. Not financial advice. Do your own thing. But, it's take your profits and not hold your bag through another bear market. Wait, and then just buy them all back up again in another bear market. And then, you could double up, triple up, quadruple up for the following run after that. But it sounds like a lot of people are going to be taking profits this time. So does that mean the next bull market will be shorter because everyone starts dumping all of a sudden? I don't know. Maybe that's a possibility as well. We have no idea. But again, each cycle does bring in a lot more investors. And as it starts crashing down into the next bear market after that, we're going to see the whole thing again. Oh, crypto sucks. It's a bubble. It's BS, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll be like, oh, well, I seen that. And then they'll move into the 2029 bull market. And then the 2025 people will have that experience. And it's just a never-ending cycle that keeps repeating itself. Did your KS0 still give profit? A little bit, kind of, if you call it that. No. Yes, they're still giving profit right now. But where is it? I can't find it. Where's it at? There it is. Let's look. Like, what are these doing now? I don't even know. So they're doing $15 a day, a 383. Now remember, when the first one first came out, it was doing over 1,500 coins a day. Now 3 of them are doing 383 for $15. That's not very good. Now, yeah, craziness, absolutely craziness. Just dropping like crazy. What is the current hash rate at right now? Let's have a look. Kaspa Explorer. What are we doing here? Kaspa Explorer. What are we at? 11.8 petahash. Let's jump into here and see what that's looking like. 11.8. Let's find my screen. That one? No. That one. There we go. 11.8. So we're going to go like that. We're going to copy this. Go across the board. Obviously, it's not going to stay at this for very long. We're going to see new shipments happening every day. Every day for the next 3 months at least. We're going to see more and more ASICs turning on because we just finished saying how Ice River is... They're trying to catch up to their oversold batches here, but this is from, let's just do 100 gigahash here. Let's go 100 across the board. We'll look at the KS0s here. Bam, bam, bam. All right, let's just go like this. Now, what are these things selling for right now? I think they're like, what, $500? No, they're not that cheap yet. No, $750 or something. $750, let's say. All right, so... right now we're still in August. This is if okay, we got to change the price. What's the price Kaspa right now? Anyone know what the price Kaspa is? Let's look at price Kaspa. Kaspa is hanging out at 4.1, 4.12, 4.12, 4.12. Let's do that. Let's adjust all this and go across the board. Oh no, I erased that one. Oops. All right, here we go. So this is the Kaspa emission schedule all the way to the end of next year of 2024. So we're right here right now. We're in August. This is the end of this year, and this is the end of next year. And this is all the blocks being reduction. You can see how much you're getting, how much Kaspa will be distributed per 24 hours. Why is this broken here? What's going on here? Why do I have an issue? Oh no, did I wreck something here? No, I broke something. What the heck do I have? Okay, I totally butchered it. I broke something here accidentally. Anyway, we're going to have to skip December of this year. I'll have to fix this later. Oh, and this one here is broken too. Anyway, so we're at 4.12 cents. We can see the block reward reduction going between each one. So like right now we're at $5.58 a day. About 135 Kaspas where we're at right now with the current network price and network hash rate on it. Then it's going to go to 526, 497. By the end of next year, if there's no extra hash rate, same price, we're down to $2.21. 53 Kaspa from block reward reductions alone. That's with no extra, that's with no Bitmain releasing, no nothing at current price situations. We go from What are we at? $658,000 per 24 hours, down to 261 just from the block getting smaller and smaller and smaller every single month. Our current ROI, if current conditions, is right at 134 days. Then we got 142. It's going to be to over a year. No, just still under a year, actually, by the end of next year. But, you know, is this hash rate only going to be at 11.8 petahash the end of next year? Hell no. Like, we were doing the numbers. Where was it? Where was I doing the numbers? Up here. Is this Kaspa? Yeah. So this is on Bitmain's numbers alone. Bitmain. 2,000 miners is 16.6 petahash or 16,600 terahash. 5,000 miners is 41.5 petahash, and 3,000 miners is 24,000. We're already coming up to, like I said, the 11.8 petahash mark, and Bitmain hasn't even released yet. They're not released yet. And these are numbers that Bitmain could have on their own. 5,000 miners is an additional 41 petahash all by themselves. I don't know if they have 5,000 miners made or sold. That's hard to say. They probably will have pretty darn close to 2,000 miners. So we can expect at least 16 petahash on top of these numbers, and then add on top of all the back orders of Ice River that still has to go out. So how long? Well, we will probably see 40 petahash within 3 months, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. Like, what's 40 petahash looking like on these? Let's go 40.8 just because. I'll just copy this over to some of these. What month is this? That's February. Let's do November, 40 petahash. So right there alone, if 40 petahash was on the network in November, that's 552 days of an ROI and a KS0. Like a year and a half at 40 petahash and the current price. That's crazy. And remember, it's going to keep getting longer and longer. Crazy times. There's crazy times moving forward. How come, where's my button? There it is. Oh, what do we got here? But again, if Kaspa price continues to go upwards, obviously that will offset all that hash rate increase, and you know, we'll just have to wait and see how that kind of plays out. Actually, you know what? Let's see what would be the profitability. Let's go all the way to the end of next year. No, I don't even know. What do you guys think they'll be? Let's say 60 petahash. I have no idea what we could hit by the end of next year. It's probably going to be higher than this because this still looks too profitable for this. So let's go. Did I do that right? Why does... Oh, yeah. That's 1,745 days. 42 cents. See, that's still... Like, the ROI is not very good, but think about it. 60 petahash by the end of next year at 4-cent Kaspa is still 42 cents profit on a miner that only uses 71 watts. That's actually still decent profitability of the KS0 at this point in time, if they're still working. You won't be able, if everything is legit correct, you won't be able to buy them anymore at that point. So we're pretty much got like antiques at this point already. But the profitability is still actually there, which is interesting. What would a freaking KS3 look like? That's still 30 fault. Wow, we could see well over 60. We could see 100 petahash maybe. We're still making $34 a day on a KS3 next December with 60 petahash on it. We could, you know, like, what do we? I don't know, 100. Try 100, like exohash, whatever. That's still $20 a day. That's KS3 is still at $20 a day with freaking 100 petahash. It's crazy. What about an exahash? Will this hit an exahash? That's an exahash. $2 a day at an exahash if we're at 4-cent Kaspa. Now, what if Kaspa was at 10 cents? $5 a day. Yeah, it's hard to say. These are the numbers we don't know what we're dealing with. How many miners are going to go online, and what the heck is Kaspa price going to be? But they're super expensive right now. The price is going to come down. Like, but what are these going to hit? What if Kaspa hits $1? $1 Kaspa. $1 Kaspa is $50 a day with 1 exahash on a KS3 by the end of next year. That's still pretty darn profitable. That's about where Cadena started at, well, they're around $65 or $75 a day actually, but 1 exahash KS3 $1 Kaspa is still pretty darn profitable. So I don't know. These numbers make the future of Kaspa so unpredictable. We don't know what the heck is going to happen. It obviously, if it hits $1, can support up to an exahash of hash. Could we hit that? If it hits $1, we will definitely hit that. But that's the thing. Will it hit $1? Will it only hit 50 cents? Will it even make it above 15 cents? We don't know those predictions, but Kaspa has not seen a bull run yet, and it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting, I feel. So, yeah. Anyway, what do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that? Oh, Panda's banning people. That's right. Panda has a wrench. You guys better be careful. He don't mess around. He doesn't take crap. You say the wrong word. You say the wrong letter in a word. He'll throw the wrench. I'm just joking, guys. Settle down. What do we got going on here, though? I missed some chat stuff here. What do we got? Red Panda mining. It could be 10 to 32 blocks per second. Have to do calculation per second. No, that the calculations still follow that because it's still based on the second. The only thing that changes is the block reward itself. So if it's 30 blocks per second, you just divide the block reward by 30, but you're still getting the same amount out there per second mined. So nothing's changing in the emissions at all. It's just that you're getting more blocks in that 1 second, but the same amount of Kaspa is going to happen that same second. So, yeah. But it will be interesting for solo miners. I feel once it does go to 30 blocks per second, solo mining may be a lot more viable at that point. Even though you're competing with a lot of people, there's a lot of blocks to be found. So like right now you look at something and you're at a point where it's like, if I find 1 block, I'm slightly less than a pool, but if I find 2 blocks, I'm way over a pool. But at 30 blocks per second, it's like, well, if I find 5 blocks, I'm about on par. And it's a lot more likely that you'll find, 4 to 6 blocks than either that second block when it's only where it is right now at finding 1. So I feel the solo mining on a fast blockchain like that will be decent, which will open up potential decentralization because a lot more people will start popping up nodes all over the place, and it's a pretty simple process to fire up a Kaspa node. So that's pretty sweet. I am actually kind of excited for the 30 blocks per second to emerge because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. When that actually happens, I think it will benefit solo miners and decentralization a little bit more. But until it actually all happens and we test it out, we have to wait and see. What do we got here? Good thing I can dodge wrenches. If you could. Oh, I can't remember what that quote was, but very true, Duke Nukem. Very true. Neopt, Kaspa will hit at least all-time high. Cardano market cap next bull run. Not financial advice. See, yeah, we don't know what these are gonna do. Like, there's a lot of pro Kaspa to the moon. There's a lot of people that are anti Kaspa now that used to be pro Kaspa, and there's a lot of people that are in the middle. And I honestly don't know. I'm going with hopium. I hope Kaspa pumps like crazy. $1, $2, $3 would be sweet. Can it do that? I don't know. But if it hits about the mark, pretty close to what Doge is right now, it'll easily hit over that $1 mark. But it all comes down to it's never seen a bull run, so it's going to be interesting to see how it actually does in its first bull run. Let's hope. All we can do is hope. We're all on hopium here. It has begun. R7 will be 2x price in a month. What do we got? Headphones in depth to collecting. Mark, do you think there will be other coins coming out on K Heavy Hash in the future? That's another possibility, is we could start seeing forks emerge on that algorithm, which would open up the gates for a lot of these ASICs to potentially spec mine brand new coins. And the Nice Hash thing. Nice Hash implemented K Heavy Hash now. So yeah, I do believe the Kaspa ASICs work on Nice Hash now. And Unminable opened up a port, so you can now use the Kaspa ASICs on Unminable as well now. So code Rabid will, use that for referral if you want. Hashtag Rabid on Unminable if you feel like it. But the big thing is, though, we're still talking about Kaspa and potential pumps. And we just finished earlier saying Bitcoin's probably going to be one of the smallest gains out of the cryptos, but they all obviously making quite a bit more by the next run. But Bitcoin is the safest way to hold your crypto, in theory. But if Kaspa is, a lot of people are expected to pump, why would you even mine it on a mineable in the first place if you're getting paid out in Kaspa? May as well just mine it on a normal pool. Now, some will obviously use that to get Bitcoin, where NiceHash might be the better option for that, because when hash rate demand goes up, NiceHash pays. You cannot deny the fact that when demand for hash rate goes up, NiceHash pays a crap ton. It's crazy. It's crazy. They get so much more profitable when hash rate really surges, and then stuff being added there's that. But you also have the chance of potentially attacking and hurting a network. That's the side effect that a lot of people actually, I don't think anyone ever pays attention or cares about that, but it does happen, and it hurts coins. Look at ETC. Look at what, I can't remember. There's some other coins out there where confirmations takes forever now because of NiceHash. But that's an option. We got NiceHash, Kaspa, BTC, Kaspa, LTC. Well, yeah, Litecoin, BTC. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can use unminable and get paid those other coins. But if Kaspa does go to, say, $1, $2, $3, you probably would have been better off just mining Kaspa and not getting paid out in any of those other coins. So that's the big disclaimer here. What do you do? Obviously, mine what makes you the most, and then hodl what you think will pump the most, or whatever you feel the best. So that's one of the big things where unminable really does come in and help quite a bit of people by making it nice and easy to get whatever you want. Fudweiser is done work. What do we got here? Freight Club. Imagine a hard fork in 6 months after all ASICs are released. Yeah, hard fork back to CPUs and then start the process all over. No, that's not going to happen. Something is, oh yeah, Ironfish is doing, that's right. I still don't know if they actually confirmed what they're going to swap to yet, but if you guys have been following anything with Ironfish, they are trying to get rid of the FPGAs because there's a massive amount of hash rate that they don't know where it's coming from and they don't want it there. So remember, at the bottom of their thing, you guys all talked about early on when we talked about Ironfish, is algo subject to change at any time, or however they worded it. It wasn't worded like that, but it pretty much said we can change the algo whenever we want. And it sounds like it's going to be happening soon, and it's going to try to remain on the GPU side. Now, it doesn't mean that in 2 years down the road, or right at the bull run time when all their coins unlock and they start making millions of dollars, they don't cut a deal with Bitmain and be like, okay, guys, subject to change, we're going to Shaw, or we're doing this. That's one thing that you got to be very careful about with this coin, especially if it just outright changes right now ASAP out of nowhere, because it just came up one day. Yeah, we don't like these FPGAs over here. We don't know where it's coming from. We're going to fork. We'll talk about it later, is all I pretty much gather out of it right now. What do we got here? Ironfish, Tank Tard. Most new coins do that. That's the common thing. A new coin releases. Some get a lot more hype than others, but usually they start high, go up for a week, pump, and then they just drop to nothing. And then from there, that's where you make your standing point. Do I mine this? Do I continue to mine it? The hash rate has removed, has dropped off, except for now we have that FPGA farm on Ironfish, for example. But then hash rate usually falls off with it. So that's when you make your decision. Do you think this coin will do something or not? Do you mine it and hold it, or do you just move to something else? So that's the interesting thing. It's going to be interesting because now we have these coins that a lot of the coins that we're talking about now didn't exist prior to the Ethereum merge. Prior to the Ethereum merge, it was all Ravencoin, all Flux, all Ergo, all, whatever. Now we got Octa.Space, we got Kaspa, which is now turned into ASICs. We got, what else is out there? Nuri, and there's a whole bunch of coins out there now. And it's going to be funny because 2026, if everything follows cycles, we're going to be back to another bear market towards the end. So I guess 2027 would be the early stages of the bear market. We're probably going to see more new coins emerge, and then they might be the next hype coins and talked about all the time and repeat all over again. But no, it's a little early to start thinking that far ahead right now, but we got what we got now. We're seeing a lot of coins gaining a lot of momentum and a lot of hype over this past year, and it's going to be interesting to see how they actually perform leading into when all the money starts flowing in. And video releases similar architecture on all its lines, but purposely indicates FP64 on RTX and Quadro class cards, which is why they suck at Dynex. Interesting. Very interesting for sure. A2000 could be miner's greatest hope. That was at one point. I remember that. At one point, it could be miner's greatest hope due to the efficiency levels. Now, I don't even, how are they doing right now? I haven't looked at them for a while. I almost forgot that was a thing, A2000. I haven't looked at my Octo cases for a long time. I cleaned them out. They're probably full of dust again from sitting there. A2000 plus RX 6600 XT for the win. Will reach its DAG limit soon. Well, it all depends on the coin. It'll reach its DAG limit depends on the coin. Example, Octa.Space, even though it's going to be ASIC over, it's under 2 gigabytes still. So Octa.Space DAG is going to be good for quite some. Actually, but it does have an epoch change pretty fast. So the DAG, I think, the memory is actually increasing pretty quick on Octa.Space, which may end up, you know what, that's something we should look at right now. I'm not actually sure, because I do notice the epoch goes through on that every couple days, unlike ETC, which is every 4 or 5. It's like every couple days the jazz miners go down to update that. So let's see, DAG size calculator right here. Engage. Let's find Octa. Where you at? So let's just go to Octa. So yeah, right now we're at, you guys can't even see because I fail. We're at 1.73 on the DAG. So let's just say, you know, let's go 4 gigabytes. 2027. So 4 gigabyte DAG, 2027 for 4 gigabyte cards. 6 gigabyte stuff is 2030. So we got a couple bull runs on Octa.Space happening for a 6 gigabyte. Now it would be nice. Now 4 gigabytes, I believe, ETC, those little iPollo ETC miners are going to run out of DAG room soon. Are they 6? I can't remember what they are. Where's ETC here? Yeah, so I guess it's 4. Is that what they are? Are they only 4? No, they're 3.5. They're less than 4. What? I got 5. What are they? iPollo ETC Mini. They're like 3.5 or something, aren't they? I thought next year they're supposed to run out. They're supposed to DAG out. Let's see here. iPollo products. V series. ETC miner. Yeah, it's V Mini Classic is. Where you at here? Memory 3.75, available is 3.6. So once they hit the 3.6 mark, they'll start losing hash rate until they get to that 3.7, then they'll probably just die. But 3.6 is when they'll start losing their hash. 3.6. So yeah, it's May of 2024. So less than a year. Early next year, around halving time, the ETC mini miners are going to be dagged out on ETC, and that means they're going to pretty much be pointless at that time. You could probably run them idle to still get ZIL, possibly. I've been messaging iPollo for a couple months now, and I'm just like, why don't you just release firmware and allow ETH hash? Yeah, sure, you can't mine FW and all these other things, but you'd still be able to swap these over to like to Octa.Space and stuff, because the DAG is very low there. But they're like, no, like, obviously it makes sense as a company. Yeah, these are wore out. Everyone knew that they're only 3 point whatever. Don't expect them to last. We'll just make a new product. That's kind of what's going on, I'm assuming. But, you know, firmware, all they need is firmware. We could keep these things liable again, and they can continue mining for another way through probably 2027, sometime actually in there. Because what we saw 4 gig was 2027. But yeah, interesting. We got solo mining Flux. I hit a block today, the one at 2:19 a.m. Arizona time. Also mining Yentin and XRP via unminable using CPUs. Interesting. 1660 also has cords. A2000 middle plug and play. A2000 12 gigabyte is a great solution for someone with a pre-built with no available 6 to 8 pin power connections, although great for enterprise pre-built and low profile platforms. Box Life Gamer says, at Rabid, you think a Kaspa miner will be worth it in a couple months? I was thinking either a 20K miner or buy Bitcoin. What would you go on? Oh, not financial advice. I have no idea. You know, like I said, if Kaspa price explodes, the miner would be good, but the hash rate's going to increase. Maybe you're better off buying the Bitcoin. Bitcoin's also one of the less gains that you're going to get on alt. There's so much unpredictability out there. I can't tell you what to do with that. You gotta make your own choice. Not financial advice. Little Time Mining would say, get Litecoin. That's what he would say. Follow your advice and zoom out. Follow my advice and sell 2025. Yeah, 2025, where it's at. I just love it. My power cost is literally zero. I pay. You got zero. Oh, wow. You got no power costs? That's insane. Okay. No, zero, no power costs. Free power is a game changer. You can get anything you want and be profitable and not have to worry. So, yeah. Low power is, yeah. You know, if you had low power and infrastructure, like that's obviously everyone's dream. Super low power costs and like unlimited infrastructure. That's when you can buy all the cheapest crap you could possibly get your hands on. Just fire them up and be profitable. Like that is where everyone wants to be at that point. But like myself, I got to be picky. People at 20 cent plus power obviously got to be very picky. And yeah, it's crazy times. Next all-time high, May 2025, BTC 90. So Fright Club figures 97K on Bitcoin. I was in that 100 to 150K range. So, you know, around that, I think it'll definitely go hit around that 100K mark for sure. It'll be interesting to see what it actually does. But yeah, maybe so. 100K top, I could see it. So yeah, some of you guys are figuring 100K. Remember, like, we already seen it happening. We're not even in a bull run. What was it, like 2 months ago when Bitcoin started coming back again? People were saying $500,000 Bitcoin in the next 2 months, 3 months. Like, some people are, I don't think they're serious. They can't be serious. If they actually think that is a thing, I don't know. Something has to happen. Anyway. That's some copium right there. Yeah, I know, like, we're talking peak bull run. We're going to hit the all-time high of this next cycle completely. We're guessing in the 100K mark, 100, 150. We're sitting in a bear market right now where Bitcoin sees a 10% gain, and then all of a sudden people are calling for $500,000 Bitcoin, which is 5 times more than what we're thinking is going to hit in the bull run. It's going to happen in the next 3 months. Like, no. Now imagine when we hit a bull run, 1 million Bitcoin, 2 million Bitcoin. Heck, we might even see like 20 million Bitcoin price predictions probably next bull run. I wouldn't doubt it if we've seen that. It's going to be some of the dumbest things I've ever seen, but yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. He's good with it. He's been in my space. Just like it. Just say it. They'd be stupid. Yeah, they are stupid. I don't know how. Wait, how do you mine with a Tesla? A Tesla, like the car? Just plug it in? No, I'm just kidding. You're talking about the older GPUs, the Teslas? I remember Teslas almost exploded. You guys remember early Dynex days, the 3060, because it had so much memory, was destroying the other GPUs. It was awesome on Dynex. Then they switched everything around where you needed more CPU power. Then they made it so more GPUs all around. Now they're at wherever they're at now. I don't even know what they're doing. I don't even know. We got SRB miner, removed NVIDIA support, and pretty much tweaking out the AMDs. 1.0 miner you need for NVIDIA, but 1.0 miner kind of sucks compared to SRB miner for Dynex. So allegedly it's just temporarily removed, so they might be adding NVIDIA support to SRB miner again in the future. I don't know what's going on, but Dynex has changed so much since it first started. And early Tesla GPUs were supposed to be like making a killing, destroying Dynex early on. And then all of a sudden they switched everything around. You couldn't use them anymore. But I almost bought, like, I've seen a few of them for like $30 on eBay. And I was like, you know what? I might get like 6 of these and see how they do, because they had a lot of memory and some early numbers of people telling me how they were doing. But it's awesome. But it's a good thing I didn't, because now they'd probably be garbage because they switched everything over and it would have been worthless. Next shortage we sell. Yeah. I have 0 power, mining in Panda's attic. Oh yeah, power. Infrastructure is so expensive. So expensive to get infrastructure rolling. Corkscrew towards next shortage. Yeah, went to that. K80 needs mad cooling. It's meant to be a data center server case with 10K RPM fans blowing up. 10,000 RPM fans. That's 4,000 RPMs faster than an ASIC. Actually, that's about those little fans like you have in the server PSUs and stuff, isn't it? Maybe the Jazzminer X41U, possibly. Something like that. Craziness. Anyway, guys, we have been here for quite some time. We will be back tomorrow with our AMA, but we're going to wrap this one up for now and see what's going on. So I appreciate everyone for showing up to this live stream. I will see you all in the next one.
Rabid out.